Hey, what's up, people? So I'm getting my move in today. I'm trying to be physically active. Physical activity is always important. You know what I always say? Either walk the dog, play with your kids, do what you have to do, just get your movement in. So today, I got asked a couple of questions about Ozempic and other GLP-1 agonist drugs like Ozempic. And I'm speaking from my own understanding of the literature and my lived experience as a person with type 2 diabetes and who lives in a larger body. How does drugs like Ozempic affect me as someone who has taken Ozempic, and what does that mean for the fitness space? I'll be the first to say, my own experience taking Ozempic was positive. I wanted to take Ozempic because first, its primary usage for drugs like Ozempic is to help regulate blood sugar for people, especially with type 2 diabetes. I'm a type 2 diabetic. That means that these drugs are specifically designed for people like me, not necessarily just for weight loss. So of course I wanted to take something like that, and it was working great. So I lost over 20 pounds on it. I felt more in control over my hunger. I wasn't emotionally eating as much. And when I tell you that thing kills your fucking hunger, it kills it. It kills your hunger. And I had a positive overall experience with it. Now the downside is that since so many people are taking it, my insurance company didn't want to pay for it because the prices are jacked. So that's that. Other than that, with GLP-1 agonist drugs, they act like GLP-1 hormones, related hormones, and that helps out with pancreatic function, lowers gastric emptying. That means that the food in the stomach empties a lot slower, and also has other effects. Now we're seeing some effects with cardiovascular health and the fact that it's lowering risk for cardiovascular related diseases, which is a good thing. Now, there are issues with these drugs. Like any other drug, there's side effects. One of the side effects of Ozempic is paralysis of the stomach. You can probably get hives or allergic reactions, and I'm sure other stuff. You could search this up on WebMD if you really want to. Now, the thing that's kind of making me talk about this, especially related to the fitness industry, is the fact that people are saying that these drugs are an easy way out for people with obesity. Now, if we take on the American Medical Association's and Endocrine Society and other organizations' stances on obesity, we would see that obesity is a disease. It is a metabolic disease in of itself. What does that mean? That means that, as with any disease, we need treatments that target it and help individuals who are dealing with it. Just as you would take a statin for, your heart health, just as you would take insulin for your blood sugar, you could take a GLP-1 agonist for your obesity and for your blood sugar and for your heart health, which just seems to be the case. Now, fitness coaches and the industry obviously don't want to feel like people are taking money out of their pockets, because if people just take these drugs along with lifestyle changes, they can see positive impacts. So that sort of undercuts what a lot of coaches are selling, especially when it comes to restrictive unnecessary dietary patterns and unnecessary programming. That is why a lot of coaches are against these drugs, in my opinion. Another thing too is that the anti-diet space is against this stuff too, because it validates the point that obesity isn't okay and that fat acceptance is anti-scientific. So what a lot of people in the space are doing is highlighting singular cases where individuals are affected by these drugs. But the problem is that with any other medication, there's always complications. So why is it that we're cherry picking what goes wrong and not highlighting what goes right? Because what's going right for many different people in these trials is a genuinely positive thing. So I think that the conversation is becoming more disingenuous, is becoming dangerous, because we're trying to downplay the positive impacts of a potentially life-saving drug. Now, I currently take Trulicity, which is, in my opinion, not as good as Ozempic, but my blood sugar has gone down, my A1C has gone down, maybe in part because of Trulicity, because I don't really take metformin anymore. But these drugs can save people's lives. These drugs can stop people from dying an early death. And it's only fair that people who are struggling with obesity, because obesity is a complicated phenomenon that's driven by socioeconomic factors as well as biology, that leads a person to gain excess amount of fat. It's only fair that we have interventions that could target and treat this and help people along the way. We need to get rid of the myths and the lies from both the pro and anti-diet space. Now, weight loss isn't my jam anymore. I don't like to talk about weight loss like that no more, because I'm of the opinion that focusing on weight loss above all else is unhealthy. But at the same time, I'm all for positive health behaviors and lifestyle change. And at the same time, I'm also for supporting science and medical interventions when necessary. So I'm here to sort of share my thoughts about this and make people realize that these drugs have the potential to save lives. Of course, they're not perfect, just like any other medical intervention is not perfect. And that there are people making up lies, making up marketing because of the potential these drugs pose to their industry or business. If people start to see the truth that maybe it's not okay to be obese and that there are interventions for this, maybe some individuals lose money. And that's why they're so against these drugs. So these are just my thoughts. Obviously, put in the comments what you think, and I hope you guys have a great day.